Hi everyone, we are going to discuss about the country's ethical framework in this video. We are going to talk about three main countries which are Myanmar, underdeveloped, Malaysia, developing, and Singapore, developed. And Yongxing is represent Myanmar, Yanten is represent Malaysia, and Riley Liu is represent Singapore.
The three main countries that are discussed in this video are Myanmar, Malaysia, and Singapore. All of them are Southeast Asia countries. The size of Myanmar is 676,578 square km. It is surrounded by India, Bangladesh, Thailand, and China. Myanmar is bordered by India and Bangladesh to its west, Thailand and Laos to its east, and China to its north and northeast, while Malaysia has the size of 329,613 square km. Malaysia is separated into Peninsular Malaysia and Malaysian Borneo by South China Sea. It consists of 13 states and 3 federal territories. Peninsular Malaysia borders Thailand in the north and Singapore in the south, Vietnam in the northeast, and Indonesia in the west. Borneo, Malaysia borders Brunei and Indonesia. Singapore located at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, with Indonesia's Riau Islands to the south and Peninsular Malaysia to the north. Its size is 721.5 square km. In a simple way, if we set Malaysia as the middle point, we can see the location of Myanmar is on the north while Singapore is on the south.
Malaysia score 100 in power distance, which means that people accept a hierarchical order in which everybody has a place and which needs no further justification. Malaysia with a score of 26 is a collectivistic society. This represents that Malaysia has a close long-term commitment to the member group, be that a family, extended family, or extended relationships. The society fosters strong relationships where everyone takes responsibility for fellow members of their group. Determination in the dimension of masculinity cannot be done since a score of 50. This represents that Malaysia comprises competitive and consensus-oriented society inequally. Malaysia scores 36 and has a low preference for avoiding uncertainty. Malaysia maintains a more relaxed attitude in which practice count more than principles. For example, schedules are flexible, precision and punctuality do not come naturally. The low score of 41 in long-term orientation means that Malaysia has a normative culture. Malaysians exhibit great respect for traditions and dislike with changes in society. Malaysia's high score of 57 in the dimension of indulgence indicates that the culture is one of indulgence. They possess a positive attitude and have a tendency towards optimism. In addition, they enjoy life and have fun, act as their place and spend money as they wish.
Based on the article of an exploratory study of Myanmar culture using Hofstrade's value dimension, Myanmar was not included in the original or subsequent Hofstrade study, and no empirical data are found in the literature concerning the cultural classification of his country. The results indicate that Myanmar is a low-power distant, highly feminine, moderate individualistic, higher uncertain avoidant culture with a moderate long-term orientation.
For Singapore, power distance is 74, individualism is 20, masculinity is 48, uncertainty avoidance is 8, long-term orientation is 72, indulgence is 46.
Malaysia is the most unique country in the world because it is aided by diversity of cultures. Malaysia consists of 3 major races, which are Malay, Indian, and Chinese. Other minor population of races in Sabah and Sarawak like Iban and Kadazan also contribute equally to the country. For Malay, they celebrate Hari Raya Aidilfitri and Hari Raya Aidiladha, while handshakes are generally acceptable for both men and women. Some Muslim ladies may instead nod and smile to acknowledge an introduction. They like to eat rendang, nasi himpit, and satay. Traditional clothing for Malay men is the baju Melayu with a songgot, while Malay women wear baju kurung with a tudung. For Chinese, they celebrate Chinese New Year, Dragon Boat Festival, Mooncake Festival. Chinese has their unique culture which are disliked number 4 because the pronunciation number 4 in dialect is same to the pronunciation of date. Chinese cuisine like dim sum is one of the favorite food for Chinese. The traditional custom for Malaysian Chinese women is a cheongsam, while Chinese nyonya wears baju kebaya. For Indians, they celebrate Deepawali and Daibusam. They like to eat roti canai and Maggi goreng. Indian women are often seen wearing sari. Sari is the Indian traditional attire and they are most commonly worn as their day-to-day wear.
There are some unique culture in Myanmar. First of all, about the clothing. Most men and women dress in long yi, a sheet of clothes worn as a long skirt. It's important to remember that in most religious sites, like Srinagar's pagoda, a dress policy is implemented for both genders. They are not allowed to wear casual clothes, meaning knees and shoulders must be covered. Second, Chinlon is probably that one seen the most of the tourists. A small ball woven from ratans is tossed into the air, and a team of 6 players take turns to stand in the middle of a circle and see how long the ball can be kept up for. There is no competition. The aim is simply to see the beauty of the game and work as a team.
Singapore has a diversity of language, religions, and culture. Each Singaporean's behaviors and attitudes are influenced by other things, such as his or her home language and religions. For example, Singaporeans who speak English as their native language tend to lean towards Western culture, while those who speak Chinese as their native language tend to lean towards Chinese culture. For Malay-speaking Singaporeans tend to lean towards Eastern culture. Singapore is known as the Lion City because the coat of the arm of Singapore and the lion head symbol of Singapore make use of lion. The national flower of Singapore is the hybrid orchid.
Malaysia was colonized by Portuguese, Britain, Japan, and Denmark for nearly 500 years. During colonization phase of the British bring Chinese and Indian from China and India to fulfill the job in mining and rubber estate. The Malay is recognized as a son of soil and given certain privilege compared to Chinese and Indian. This increases the dissatisfaction between ethnics in Malaysia. Therefore, colonization leads to political instability and racial tension due to forced immigration of the Chinese and Indian to Malaysia.
Now, let me talk about the historical of Myanmar. Myanmar's society and culture have been greatly influenced by China and India. As an independent nation since January 1948, Myanmar has been passing through various military rules and a series of democratization movements. Myanmar has been an active partner in the UNESCO-led movements of education for all. The Education Reconstruction Committee report of 1947 included a wide array of school reforms such as bilingual curricula, vocational training, and health education. During the 1948 to 1962 post-independence period, the government of Brunei announced a statement of educational policy that include free education in state schools, the use of Burmese as a medium of instruction while allowing English at the college level, and the creation of new textbooks that highlighted the spirit of nationalism. Under military rules 1962 to 1988, the Burmese educational system became highly centralized. In 1989, Burma adopted a nationalistic new name, Myanmar. During 1988 to 2000 year, known as a period of democracy.
Singapore was colonized by British in 1819 to 1826. In 1826, Singapore became part of Straits Settlements. British had planned to liberate Singapore in 1945. However, the Second World War ended before this operation could be carried out, and the Japanese occupation of the Singapore in 1942 to 1945. British military administration was formed to govern the island until March 1946. The colony of Singapore was a British Crown colony that existed from 1946 until 1963. Singapore was one of the 13 states of Malaysia from 1963 to 1965.
Malaysia is a parliamentary democracy with a federal constitutional monarch, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, as head of state. This monarch is chosen for a 5-year term from among their own number by the 9 hereditary rulers of Peninsular Malaysia. The 9 hereditary states are Perlis, Negeri Sembilan, Kedah, Perak, Johor, Selangor, and Pahang, Terengganu, and Kelantan. The head of state in the 4 states that do not have hereditary rulers, which are Malacca, Pulau Pinang, Sabah, and Sarawak. The federal parliament consists of 2 houses, the upper house, Dewan Negara, and the lower house, Dewan Rakyat. The maximum life of the House of Representatives is 5 years. Members of the Senate hold office for 6 years. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints the Prime Minister, and on the Prime Minister advise the Cabinet. Bills must be passed by both houses and assented to by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. A bill may originate in either house, which with the exception of a money bill, which may not be introduced in the Senate. The Senate has the power to hold up for 1 year a bill which is not a money bill and which has been passed by the Dewan Rakyat. Each house regulates its own procedure.
For the government and governance system in Myanmar, in 2008, Myanmar established a new constitution and created a new form of government, which is divided into 3 branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. The legislative branches of the government is divided between the national levels and the local and regional levels. The executive branches is headed by the president of the country. The president is based on the political party with majority power in the Assembly of the Union. The judicial branches of Burma remains heavily influenced by the British colonial era laws and system. The judicial system here does not, however, grant the citizen to a public trial, and it is not an independent branch of government.
Singapore is a parliamentary republic. The president is head of state and is elected through popular vote. The parliament serves as the legislative branch of the government. Elected members of parliament are voted into the parliament on a phase past the post. The legal system of Singapore is based on English common law, but with substantial local differences.
Hi, Singapore and Malaysia. I'm gonna bring you from Myanmar government. Do you 0.8% unemployment rate only. To my country, me and my state. 0.8%.
The positive of Singapore is first one is no rate of crime. The second is has a notice index of the income inequality. And the negative of Singapore, first one is kiasu, which means the freedom of losing, and the second one is restraint, which means strict social norm.
The positivity of Malaysia is different races of citizens, people can speak minimum 3 languages. The second one is indulgent, more relaxed and enjoy life. The negativity of Malaysia, the first one is passive, lazy to work. Second is punctuality is not normal.
There are two positivity of Myanmar. First, high population that contribute to high source of labor. Second, high femininity prefer for cooperation. Besides that, there are two negativity of Myanmar. First, higher index of income inequality. Second, high uncertain avoidance level, maintain rich code of belief and behavior.